If someone had told me a year ago that I'd be completely engrossed in a series about a secondary character from the Batman universe, I probably would have just laughed. But here we are in 2024, and The Penguin with Colin Farrell has been released. And as it turns out, it's one of the best series of recent years. The more I thought about the secret to its success, the more convinced I became that one of the main reasons is the absence of Batman himself.
Knock knock. Who's there?
Hi, Daddy.
Today, I'll explain why I believe that the Batman universe without Batman might be the best choice, and why the Penguin is closer in spirit to shows like The Sopranos than to the DC movie universe. Recently, I recommended this series to a friend with one key detail. Make sure to watch it. By the way, Colin Farrell stars in it. A few days later, he called me and said, "The show is great, but where's Colin Farrell?" That sums up everything you need to know about Colin Farrell's transformation into the Penguin. The makeup altered him so much that, without his name in the credits, no one would recognize him.
There's a gangster. Real old school type. Rex Calabrese.
It was just an extraordinary opportunity to bring together this collective of creatives.
His eyes are the only giveaway. In every other way, he's a completely different person.
Listen, Sal. Carmine Falcone's dead. And I'm here now. I'll be calling the shots.
As you may know, Colin Farrell first appeared in this look in Matt Reeves' The Batman movie.
Oh, take it easy, sweetheart. You looking for me? How you doing? I'm Oz.
And even on set, there were amusing incidents tied to Farrell's new look. Jeffrey Wright, who played Lieutenant James Gordon, once went looking for Farrell and walked past him several times without recognizing him. Colin Farrell went through an incredible transformation into the Penguin, and it's arguably one of the most convincing character changes in recent years. When director Matt Reeves offered him the role, Farrell had his doubts. The character seemed so far removed from anything he'd done before, but after hearing Reeves' vision and seeing the concept design by makeup artist Mike Marino, Farrell immediately understood that this character had something to convey even before he opened his mouth. If you stay, you'll see why.
But if you step out of line just once, I swear to God, I'll gut you like a fucking fish. Do you understand? Shut the fuck up. 1 hour to sunrise.
Every morning began with a 3-hour makeup process. Farrell's hair was hidden under a special latex cap painted to look like real skin, and then massive cheeks, an elongated nose, drooping ears, and subtle wrinkles were added. Makeup artist Mike Marino gave the look distinctive features that made it unique and recognizable. A scar and slightly exaggerated eyebrows, whose shape gives his face a slightly bird-like expression. All of this creates the persona of the Penguin, a hardened gangster shaped by life.
When I was a kid, I was a gangster. Real old school type.
Farrell admits he'd never felt so buried under someone else's work as he did while filming the show. Yet, despite the many layers of makeup that limited his performance to some extent, he managed to bring Oswald Cobblepot to life as an unusually charismatic character. For instance, his gait, a limp, slightly shuffling walk with a bit of a sway, hinting at his leg issues. Farrell brilliantly portrayed this distinctive way of moving, making it clear why Oswald is nicknamed the Penguin. You can see how difficult it is for Oz to walk and hear how labored his breathing is with each step. Farrell's voice also underwent a transformation. Listening to him in interviews, his usual voice is markedly different from the Penguin's.
It wasn't even the sounds, it wasn't even the articulation of the word, just as much as that word came up in the process of working on the dialect.
Oz, in turn, speaks with a rasp and a slight accent.
Maybe we don't see eye to eye on every little thing. You know, maybe you don't like me. It's fine. I'm an acquired taste.
All of this makes Colin Farrell's transformation into the Penguin one of the most incredible character changes in TV history. The first thing I personally loved about the series is the absence of Batman. It's such a simple yet bold choice, setting the show apart from the entire Batman cinematic universe. Personally, I think the Penguin as a character is better than Batman and perhaps even better than the Madman Joker. But that's just my opinion. You might think differently, as Batman isn't just the main character, he's essentially the face of the entire brand. But here's the paradox. It's precisely Batman's absence that allows the story to take on a new depth. Now, the Penguin isn't just one of Batman's enemies, but the central figure around whom the entire plot unfolds. Something similar was, of course, seen in Gotham. though that series remained about superheroes, at least with their occasional appearances. By the way, if you've watched it, let me know your thoughts. The Penguin, however, completely shifts the genre. Superhero universes are inherently a bit fantastical. They easily accommodate characters with superpowers, unusual technologies, and, of course, masks to hide their identities. With these types of characters around, it's hard to truly see, let alone develop, characters like the Penguin, who doesn't rely on combat skills but on cunning, influence, and manipulation. Let's agree, in the company of superheroes, a character like this can feel a bit overshadowed. But when Batman is removed from the story, the Penguin and his world start to follow their own rules. We see a different, darker, and more realistic Gotham. Without Batman, Gotham finally has a chance to reveal its true nature. A grim, cynical city steeped in filth, where everyone survives however they can and where there's no hope for heroes. Freed from typical superhero tropes, we see not a comic book villain, but a man who clawed his way up from the bottom and seized power through his own means. His world is one of intrigue, cunning, and ruthless survival in Gotham, where he's determined to claim his slice of power, even if it means stepping over others to get it. This shifts the series from a typical good versus evil story into a full-fledged crime drama. That's why The Penguin feels much closer to projects like The Sopranos than to classic Batman tales. The Sopranos captivated audiences by showing each character not just as a gangster, but as a complex, real person. Tony Soprano wasn't only an Italian-American mobster from New Jersey. He was also a family man, husband, father, and brother. He had a wife, kids, and mistresses, and we often saw him not in mob meetings, but in his own kitchen, at the dinner table, or surrounded by grumbling relatives. This simple approach made his character feel incredibly relatable and realistic. The Penguin follows a similar approach. Here, no one calls him the Penguin, he's just Oz. He cares for his elderly mother, who's showing signs of age. He has a girlfriend. He gets angry and anxious like anyone else. His rage, fears, ambitions, and simple human emotions make us empathize with him, allowing us to see not a cartoonish villain, but a complex, nuanced human being. All of this creates a sense of authenticity, making the world of the series feel vivid and convincing. Gotham without Batman might just be the best choice for a character like the Penguin. Not Batman, but the Penguin feels like the true hero Gotham deserves. When Batman is removed from the equation, so goes the traditional clash between good and evil. This is no longer a battle of black and white, but a dive into the gray areas of morality. It's here that anti-heroes take center stage. Those of you who've been around for a while know I've covered anti-heroes in other videos, but it's worth revisiting because the Penguin is a classic anti-hero. The trend for anti-heroes in TV can arguably be traced back to 1999, when the iconic show The Sopranos premiered, becoming a cultural phenomenon. Thanks to the brilliantly crafted character of Tony Soprano, where brutality is interwoven with humanity, audiences realize that anti-heroes can be as compelling, if not more so, than traditional protagonists. The Sopranos showed that revealing the darker sides of human nature without clear-cut black and white distinctions really works. After The Sopranos' phenomenal success, many other shows embraced the theme of dark heroes like The Wire with the charismatic Omar Little, Dexter, House of Cards, Boardwalk Empire, and later Breaking Bad with Walter White.
Say my name.
These series depicted not a perfect hero, but a realistic person with both admirable and deeply flawed qualities. An anti-hero is a character who operates by their own rules and often strays far from conventional morality. They're neither villain nor saint. They make mistakes, lose control, commit ruthless acts, and don't always have a clear moral compass. What makes us empathize with anti-heroes despite their flaws? Most likely, it's their realism. They resemble us with our weaknesses, inner conflicts, and dark impulses. Heroes and villains often get stuck within their roles. Anti-heroes, however, are walking conflicts. In every action, we see their inner struggle and moral compromises. They don't sacrifice themselves to save the world, but pursue their goals by their own rules. We're drawn to them because we can never be sure which side they're on.
Please don't do this, no. Hey, oi. No.
They might betray or they might show kindness. It all depends on circumstances, not some grand mission. This is exactly how the Penguin behaves. Oz, portrayed by Colin Farrell, is a true anti-hero. The world he inhabits offers no clearly positive characters. Even Victor, Oz's protege, hardly qualifies as a good guy. Gotham has become a battleground for two major crime families. The Falcone clan, led by Carmine Falcone, who dies before the series begins, leaving children vying for power. And the Maroni family, their sworn rivals, ready to exploit any chance to secure their influence in the chaos engulfing the city. Unlike other crime bosses, Oz doesn't have a vast reserve of resources. but he skillfully uses intrigue to play on the contradictions and weaknesses of the criminal families, as if orchestrating an improvised chess game. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you surely know one of the show's most intriguing characters, Littlefinger Petter Baelish, who turned chaos into a tool for climbing the social ladder. Oscobb operates on the same principle. He weaves plots, pits the Falcone and Maroni families against each other, and sows doubts among their subordinates. It's especially fascinating to watch how Oz, time after time, manages to wriggle out of the toughest situations by finding loopholes and forming unexpected alliances. Each of his moves is a risky balancing act, and not only does he maintain control, but he also finds ways to strengthen his position in Gotham's world. In conclusion, I'd like to say that the Penguin is truly the hero Gotham deserves. Gotham has always been more than just a backdrop. It's a full-fledged character. With the Penguin's arrival, the city came to life in new ways, fully revealing its dark atmosphere. The Penguin turned Gotham's setting into a crime drama, which undoubtedly benefited the entire project. Combined with Colin Farrell's incredible transformation, his nuanced performance, and authenticity, the series has every chance to become the best show of the year. I'm convinced it will not only likely get a new season, but also influence the future of the Batman film. And if you'd like me to release a separate video analyzing the Penguin, Sophia Falcone, or other characters, it's all up to you. Essentially, I already have the analysis of the main character outlined, but to make it a full video, I'll need your support through activity on this one, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you soon in the next videos.